Okay, good afternoon, Manchester, New Hampshire, and all the surrounding areas. Welcome to Norm's Community Corner. And we have a young man by the name of Eric
Eric.
Stolberg.
Eric Goldberg.
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 Oh, okay. Sorry about that. No, no, but that's
Are you
it.
on
Give you a-
TV on Tuesday nights?
Relatives.
You have your own show?
No, I'll give you a card later.
Okay.
No,
Oh.
there's a show on Tuesday nights called The Goldbergs.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. That's sweet. He blushes easy.
I do. Oh, you already got me.
We blush him easy. So we got a name.
Bring on
Eric,
the
okay. We're gonna. Okay, you want to tell the people what you do, please?
I'm a conduit, and the way I work is if I think of it, it comes through. So I channel often. I do a lot of healing work on myself and others. Sometimes it drifts into mediumship. Sometimes it's psychic. Sometimes it drifts psychic intuitive. It could go any way. It depends on the person and what they need. And I ask for the highest and the greatest good and what they need to know now. Pretty basic stuff, but I try not to have any thought as much as I can because thought shifts me in any direction. So I strive to have as clear a mind as possible and be in the moment with somebody. Sometimes I got to drag them in the moment, kicking and screaming, because what's going on in their day to day. But once I get them in the moment, in the room with me, we connect.
Don't bang the table.
Rookie.
It's hard because sometimes I'm supposed to keep the mic close, so I hold it, and he's like, "No, you're tapping it."
Well.
Believe me, I've been told many times. After 18 years, you still learn, you know.
Excellent.
But the one thing about you is you've got to learn to have more confidence in what you're doing. You know, what you're doing is that you're still a newbie. Okay? Every day we learn something new. And that's what I call it. I learned, okay? And I've been doing a lot older than you are, trust me on that one. Do you have any formal education on this?
Well, I did. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I did the Lightarian as well. It's a lot of not really formal education, but a lot of different healing modalities. Did the Muniki rites. Worked with a shaman for a while. But as it is, if somebody shows something to me, if they show me the way, once I had my first soul retrieval, I could do a soul retrieval. It happened organically. Sometime I was doing healing work with somebody, and it just showed up. So it's not, I'm trying not to learn so much how other people do it and use my filters, my natural filters, to do it my own way. You know, I could take pieces of something, but to really truly get ownership of it and do it for yourself is really what's important. Lately, what I've been working with is not just going straight through my psychic center, but going through my heart as well and connecting through my heart and expanding that way instead of just psychic center to psychic center or higher self or any other way of connecting.
One of the things that I appreciate with you is because you're a very honest soul. Otherwise, you know what would happen. The spirit would not be too happy with you. We already know that, right?
Oh,
And you've
absolutely.
gone through that before, okay? One of the things that I know is that I know a lot of people have had a lot of formal training, and they go by the book. They instead of using, it's good to have the tools. Don't get me wrong. I'll never not full education with people. I myself have never had. I always allowed the spirit to work with me because I could not because I have ADD. God, that was hard for me to know, but because I can't sit there to climb. I have to do it my way, like you have to do it your way and the spirit way. And a lot of the people I have, people that come in, they had this education, they've done that, they've done this. And you know what? You got to allow the spirit to teach you. It's good to it's like going to an alcohol counselor or going like that. And they're using all the. Well, you're a counselor, right? But use your own intuition, right? Use your own.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying you don't have a formal training.
Yeah,
yet,
I'm not
but-
formally trained,
No,
but
but you
yeah,
still
more
know.
intuitive. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and I think that's the best thing in the world, you know. And I don't like it when I see someone that's doing a card reading, and they have to look at a book just to make sure that discourages
No,
me right away.
so you got to own it. For me, when I first took card, did take a card learning class, and
No.
within 2 minutes, the teacher said that I could be teaching the class, because I flopped them over and just started scanning them, and words were popping out. It would say a paragraph, and then it would be, believe would get bigger and fuzzier, and the next card would be, something else. It'd be trust or
See, that's like
acceptance.
with me when I've been
And-
playing cards, okay?
Oh.
And every card may represent one thing for
Mm-hmm.
you, but it could also represent something differently for you. Even though it could be, we'll say the seven of diamonds is always, there are just some cards that are really dogmatic. Yeah, I use that big word. Lori would be proud of me,
Okay.
And she and I also have a big thing about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
big
it's
words.
a big
Big
word,
words.
yeah.
And if he
And-
remembers your name.
Yeah, and one thing that people want to understand is you can have all the formal training in the world, but if you don't start allowing your spiritual teacher to help you, then you've learned nothing. And when you think you've learned it all, you've learned absolutely nothing.
We're all in work in progress all the
Every
time,
day.
and we're all in a perpetual state of healing. And in order to do this work, a lot of them get stuck in not doing the healing aspect of it. It's like it goes hand in hand.
And when they start looking at the money value of it, you know what? That's not the right reason.
It's not. I'm in it to help people. I haven't been putting it out there in the last 2 years, but I'm making a push at it now. And I've just been working with what has come to me or what I'm drawn to do. I'll use the discernment. And if I'm drawn to do a fair, there's other reasons to do the fair. I'm connecting with other people, and we have some serious message for each other, or there's some real hardships that come through for the messages. They seek me out, and that's how it works for me.
Do you feel that you're so open to learning that you just self-absorb every modality that you're interested in?
Yes, to a point. If I'm not interested in it, I'll get a definite no. I'll get a definite this is not for me.
Oh, that's not true, though.
Well,
Really, it isn't. Let me
Well-
give you a little experience. You may not think it's for you, but the more you procrastinate on it, then it's going to come to who say, I gave you this choice. You said it wasn't for you. Now you're going to do it. And I take that from my own experience.
it depends on the modality. Some just absolutely do not resonate with me, and
They could
I'm
at
not.
a later time.
Well, it might. I'm open and available to whatever it is. Maybe I'm not ready for it yet.
Right.
But some of them seem like they're too oath-like, or too structured. To do the Akashic records is this whole big process, and for me, when I started doing them, I just sent somebody in. I sent a master in. Instead of doing the knock 3 times, spin in a circle. No, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. And it's not for you either, clearly. So it doesn't resonate with you. But owning it and learning and doing it your own way, it creates a stronger bond and a stronger connection.
Pull up. There you go. Okay. One of the things that I found, I listen to other people, and one of my favorite ones is Amy Majors. She really is. We go way back. We've had our differences, don't get me wrong. But I love her spirit. I love her energy. I love everything about her. Lori and I did really well, okay? And by the way, folks, this young gentleman here will be, just falls right into, at our Healing Pause first annual fall event. I don't use the term psychic because I think that scares people away, you know what I mean? There will be readers here. There will be hot dogs. There will be vendors and popcorn. And we'll have vendors. And all the money and the proceeds that we make will go for our Healing Pause. What the Healing Pause is if you have an animal, cat, dog, rat, snake, owl, whatever.
Snakes don't have paws.
Huh?
Snakes don't have paws.
Well, that's okay. We'll still take care of them, when you didn't come up with a name, they had this winter. And we had to, and we will take and help them. We will not pay for neutering. We won't, unless it's your husband or, whatever. And then we'll pay for the neutering or the rabies shot for the husband. But no, but we'll pay for the medication, and I hate to use the word euthanize them, but if they can't have them euthanized, we'll pay for that too. But we ask that if you can help us, we'll help you with the cost, but we cannot actually ask you to give the money back because then this becomes a non-profit.
What do you mean, give the money back?
Well, if you could afford, okay, we'll have you.
Oh, so
pay
if you give me the money to do it, I don't have to repay you. But if I wanted to do it as a donation when
Right,
I got the money,
yeah.
I could. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you don't get the money. We get it by credit card. We made that directly.
Right.
Yeah.
No. What
yeah,
I'm
but
saying
yeah,
is
yeah.
if I can't
And-
afford to do it
right.
today and
Maybe
you give me
next
the
week,
money to
yeah.
take care of it,
Right.
and
You
then
can have
if
it back
I
as a
win the
donation.
lottery.
Yeah, and it comes back in as a donation. Like if you want to do a hair transplant on him, we might think about paying for that.
I don't think he wants one. I think he's quite happy the
No,
way it is.
no. I've been enjoying this for a long
Do you know what
time.
it's like to get up in the morning and just go?
Yeah, just a little soap, a little aloe maybe, and go down the
There
road.
you go. Do sunburn easy?
Not really. Not really.
Lucky.
Not
Even
really.
my hair, I still sunburn.
Yeah. I did. If I put a hat on backwards, I'm sure to get a Pepsi symbol on my forehead. Oh, it's just
It's
guaranteed
not
to
a
happen.
third eye.
So what got you interested in his third eye? Keeps opening up and down, up and down. You've got to become more stable with your third eye.
I shift a lot.
Yeah,
So,
so you got to learn how to stabilize it a little.
well,
I had a woman who had two third eyes.
Really?
Yeah, Pauline, that's what I thought she was coming in today. She had two third eyes. And that was it. She had one right here and one over here. And I thought, I had never seen that before, maybe a couple times before that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what got you into doing what you, and how long have you been doing it?
well, as a child, I was actually speaking tongues, and it was very scary, and seeing a lot of things, and it became too much, and I shut it down very young. And then in my teens, I started just realizing what I was able to do and see and feel, and I started to work on the empathy part of it. But I didn't really start learning until I had children, and they were seeing the same things I was seeing. So I would see like half an arm, or just half a face, or somebody's guide behind them, and my youngest had a conversation with somebody on the couch. He was just like, and I'm like, really, you see that? And he's like, and he still couldn't talk yet, really. And I was like, okay, yes, I see you. And that's when I started to acknowledge, yes, I see you. Yes, I'm open to message. How may I help you? What are you doing here? And I started immediately. They were talking to me. That was a good 16 years ago now. And then I went to a fair, and at that fair there was somebody there who had it was actually Dr. Kevin was doing it actually, and he had to do this little thing. And as soon as I walked in there, I'm seeing everybody's guide. I'm like, okay, I don't need this. I'm already connecting. Just the energy that he created in the room made me like, okay. And he's off doing his little spiel, and I'm just talking to other people and their guides and their relatives, and it was like, wow, what is this? So I went to a couple psychic development classes down at Circles, and it was immediate there too. So, and I was off and running. I did it for a few years, pretty hot and heavy, every practice circle I could find that fit in my schedule. Started doing some fairs. I ran a practice group for about 2 years. That ended about 5 years ago. Psychic development / mediumship. And the last few years, I've been throwing the occasional class out there. The last one I just did was on shifting wisdom and how things shift us. And it's very involved, and it seemed like it was almost part one, or a dry run in a smaller venue.
I'm going to be opening my classroom up again, teaching again. I'll invite you to be one of the instructors.
Well, thank you.
When you, I
Are you
love
gonna
the.
open it in Manchester?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got to redo probably in different places, but the one thing I love is when they call it a psychic fair. I always look. Okay, where's the Ferris wheel? Where's the merry-go-round? Where's the cotton
lot of
candy?
clowns there.
And the clown, yeah, and it's not a
Oh, you
fair.
mean you're looking for the demolition derby too?
Right, yeah. Because to me, that's what a fair all represents. To me, this is I refuse to call my event fairs, but that's my prerogative. Hey, I used another big word. Lori would be proud of me. You say you know Lori, right?
Very well, yes.
I know Lori, and I just find that the fair I expect like a 4-H fairs. I used to love those, but I wouldn't go near the animals. I was terrified of them.
Really?
Oh yeah. A horse comes up looking at me, go whoa. And then all of a sudden I started communicating with the animals. But I like to call them events.
They used to call them happenings back in the 60s, you know.
Back when I first started doing,
Sounds very Salem-y.
Yeah, well, kind of hippie-ish, you know.
when I first started really coming out to it back in the 60s, of course I'm only 35 now, you know.
So it works.
Yeah, with a 45-year-old son, figure that one
It's
out,
okay.
right?
It's okay.
But it was unheard of. Women were accepted, were expected. They were able to do the energy work, the reading of the cards, the tarot cards, and all that too, But for a man to do it, oh my goodness, that must be, Then I became a born-again Christian, and I was hallelujah and all that stuff. I was kidding all over the place, all that. Finally, I said, you know what? I can't live like this anymore. I can't live a lie. And I went to the pastor. He said, brother, you're being slain to the spirit. I go, oh, no. I said, all this shaking that I did just was to please you. Because everything that I did, like kidding and hallelujah and all that, and I said, it was just to make you people happy. And you know what? I can't be this unhappy anymore. Because the unhappier I got, the more I drank.
So you found your authentic
Then I
self
found who I am.
at the end of it.
And I love who I am. I've been sober now 22 years, almost 23. I'm a great roommate, a partner. And I love who I am today. I had to lose everything in order to gain.
Let
what
go.
I had.
You had to make room.
Right. And
You were so full of all that other stuff.
I was so born. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was making quite a name for myself, even when I was in my drinks. I had my own church following, so to speak, my own cult.
You know what though? That was somebody else's stuff. That was.
No,
I
that
mean, it
was
was
my own
yours.
stuff.
It was yours, but I mean that some of the teachings, some of the belief systems, some of the
what I
the
learned out of
things.
it was that it's not. But my spiritual guide says to me, "What the hell do you think you're doing? Why are you destroying?" And I was making money. I was making a little. I was making like $3,000 a week. But I still wasn't happy. And then I moved to Manchester, and I still wasn't happy. Then finally, when I gave up my drinking, instead of saying I had to lose everything, I mean, I lost everything from my apartment. The only thing I kept was my dog. I had to go, and then a nice apartment. I had to go. But it was, and I ate at the shelter, which I'm not embarrassed by because the meals were fantastic. But the people were still never happy with the food. They still complain about it. Be grateful you got something to eat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's so many people out there that are still hungry all over the world. My goal is to watch and see more and more peace and love in this country and in the world. That's what my major goal, and healings. Okay.
But a lot of that comes with you have to be taught
Right.
to give back. I mean, you have so many people who feel that they're entitled right now.
Right.
And then you have people who.
Yeah. I'm watching them over in the park. Now, I don't know about, we had the New Hampshire Federal Church, they give out lunches and dinner to the children in the different parks. Do they have that in your area?
They have something
They go to
about.
different parks and,
I don't think. Maybe in the inner city, but not so much out in the suburbs.
okay. I'm watching these kids. They're getting some. How old are your children?
I have 17, 15, and 12.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you were going to say you had 17 kids.
I thought you were going to say, "Oh my God, what did
Been
they
busy.
do?" We know what he did, but if they were at the park and you said they were getting free meals, we'll say, like they do. You have taught them to respect that they're getting that food. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
These kids are throwing them at each other.
Really?
Yeah. Then make it big. I had it. I go trucking in there, hurting with my heels, and I'm going, what you're doing is wasting food that many other people would love to have.
Right.
And he says, you can't tell. I said, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but if you can't appreciate it, then don't take it. Because some other kids came and they ran out of food. And I blame the people who delivered it. I blame them because I said, you know they're going to do this.
Right.
So why don't you refuse to do it? Well, we think it's funny. I was in shock.
How do you think it's funny if you're bringing a service because the kids aren't in
Absolutely.
school and they don't have the
And they
free?
need it, yeah.
Yeah.
It said, I don't see how it's funny when they're shooting it at each other, you know. That's wherever, you know. And the sad part is, I believe it starts from where the teachers, the parents, or the parent, and it starts from, if they can't, they need to learn how to respect the thing, but the government says no, you can't say this or you can't say that, and half the meals that they get because they're government controlled are supposedly healthy, and they don't like it, so they're not going to eat it.
Well, I know
Then leave it alone.
your kids are older. I've gone into a couple of, because on Fridays you can go in for the elementary kids, and I've known some kids, and the lunches now, they have a little snack station where they have like oranges and apples and bananas, and that's all free food. So whether you bought a lunch or you brought your lunch, you can go and get some fruit and maybe a salad.
They have salads and stuff, but if you don't pay for it, they just still slap you a peanut butter sandwich on the side or grilled cheese or something.
They
on the
can't
side.
do that anymore. Because there are too many allergies in peanut
Well,
butter.
I mean, I
But
don't
grilled
mean
cheese.
grilled
Yeah.
cheese.
Not-
They have
not
an,
this school.
yeah,
Cheese or
they have
pizza.
they have an optional second meal. Well, a lot of kids are goal oriented. I mean, and they look at life with tunnel vision, like through a straw, and anything outside of that goal, or that next whatever, that they're searching for, is really not. They don't feel
Yeah.
that. They're just, really.
I'm doing the same
Really
thing.
focused. I'm not like that too. I'm like that too.
When a lot of times I go
Sometimes
to
he
the
takes his rings off because he goes.
yeah. A lot of times I'll go into the park and they'll say, "You're on TV." I go, "Yeah." Well, what can you tell me about my girlfriend? Or what can I tell you about this? And I have so much fun. I don't, and I say only if you really want to hear it. Okay, because and the young kids, they like to hear stuff like that, and I never tell them anything bad because I don't think that's the right thing to do. What I will do is I'll tell the young kids to encourage them, go back and do your homework, do your study, listen to what mom and dad or like that say. I said, and I looked at one kid, if you don't respect your teacher, that's your own fault. She's trying to help you. And I had a young boy, I told him he didn't belong in a gang, that he should be home taking care of his mother, mother taking care of him. He was like 14 years old. He belonged to this real tough gang. And I was scared for him because I didn't want to see him get shot. And I told him right now, I said, I don't want to see your blood down the street. And the guy said, are you saying that because of our car? I go, no, because I don't want to see young kids die.
Do you have a lot of shootings in Manchester?
I'm sorry? Yeah.
A lot of shootings?
Yeah, but this size, yeah, we really do. It's sad. And it's increasing. Okay? And I told him, and I was so happy to hear his mother got a hold of me and told me, you know what? Her son had listened to me, and now he's in his first year of college. That's what makes it all worthwhile.
If you're using it positively, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity, that's a blessing. And if you use it wisely and chose to use your gift and your, just them knowing who you are, your position, and actually helping somebody and reaching out, that's awesome. That'll come back to you.
Right.
That'll fill
I
your
love
heart.
it.
That'll fill your heart.
A lady who moved in next door to me, that just moved in, couldn't find out I had a party at her house 20 years ago.
It's a small world.
Yeah. And, well, I don't. But I've had people call me. You remember what you told me 10 years ago? If I remember everything that I tell people, you and I would be mind-boggled.
I don't either. You got to let it go. You got to let it go.
I used to hold on to it until my spirit says no. I used to take people who had like cancer or whatever, and then one day I had a client come in, she had throat cancer, and I took it all, and she's fine. I literally had to go to the bathroom, throw up the vile green smell. I said, wait a minute, why am I allowing myself to? My spirit says, you know what, have you learned yet? Have you learned? If you don't listen, because if you don't listen, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I did a healing circle down in Arlington, couple weeks ago, I got another one coming up at the end of August at a place called Portal Crystal, and it's me and a couple other healers. But
are you a healer? Or are you a tool for healing?
I get out of the way as much as I can, but a lot of times
don't avoid my question now.
No, okay. Both.
If you get out of the way, do you bring in the masters and the healers and the guides and stuff like that to do it for you?
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both. I physically pull a lot of stuff. It comes through me and out. Mm-hmm. So, like you were just saying, I had one down there with cancer. I've had a couple actually, but I had to go put it into a tree because it's in me now, and it's not. Sometimes it's not what I intend to do. It's just what comes out. You know, you scan the energy.
I'm gonna ask you again. Don't avoid the question. Okay. Are you a healer or are you a tool for healing from the spirit?
It's probably a tool.
Thank you. Yeah. That's the answer I was looking for. Yeah. Okay. Because most of these people say, oh, I'm a healer. I can heal you. Hallelujah. You're going to be healed. No, we're tools that work to have the people help themselves. Yeah. I actually had one lady walk off my show because I told her she wasn't a healer.
Yeah. Well,
you're tools. Always remember, we're healers in a respect. Okay, I'll give you that one. But we are the tools that the spirit wants it to be, the healers.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. I feel like by setting the intention as a healer for walking in there and being in, like, if I'm just intending to do a healing on somebody and nothing else, I don't want any mediumship to get in the way. I don't want, any spirit guides, any past lives or whatever. I really, okay, you have a chunk of dark energy in your root. I want to pull, then going in there with the intention as a healer, but for a tool for healing.
Thank you.
So,
look at it this way.
See what I'm saying? I'm driving a car, but I'm not.
You're right. Okay.
You're not running it.
I'm not. Yeah.
Always remember this: if you claim that you're a healer, you damn well better be healing the people. They better be able to get up like the faith healers, and you damn well. They better be able to go to the doctor and say,
so
this man healed me.
He should perform miracles.
Right.
Wow.
Always, you're a healer. Please don't misunderstand.
I got you. Okay? I got you.
But we have to say thank you to the spirit. You thank the spirit.
Absolutely grateful. Absolutely, all of them every day. As much
your
as
body, your spirit's out of your body right now.
Which one?
You're a master healer.
I'm shifty.
Right,
I'm shifty.
Yeah. Well, we all are, But I also tell you there were 3 other women over there. And we have a lot of spirit women over there. Mm-hmm. We had these people come on with Paula. And we had these people come on, and one of the women actually came and talked to one of the women that were on the show, one of the females, and we had never had that done before. Lori and I were sitting here talking about that, One thing I'm also going to tell you is that the confidence that you have to make yourself a lot stronger with. Okay? Don't shy away from what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? But don't put other people before your family. Oh, line 1. There you go.
Welcome to Norm's Community Corner.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Welcome.
Good, you?
Good. What's happening?
I see that you've changed your name on your show.
Yes, we have.
Community Corner.
Yeah, how do you like it?
This is Donna.
Hi, I know. How do you like that name, Donna?
It's okay. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's better than the other one. Only because Lori left us.
Yeah.
It
has more of a ring to it.
Right. So what's happening with you, Donna? What are you still with the same job or what?
No.
Okay.
This is why I'm calling to see if you can kind of pinpoint what I've done and what you see further on.
First of all, what you're doing, and you've got to take it. Stop trying so hard to do something to make other people happy. You got to start trying to make yourself happy. Then you can have the right job.
Okay.
Okay,
I
I
kind
don't.
of figured that.
Yeah, I don't see any financial difficulties. I mean, it could be a tight budget, but I don't see any physical, any financial difficulties. Okay,
Okay.
and you're gonna stop putting yourself down. You are not a failure.
Okay.
You understand what I
This
mean
is,
by
I
that?
think, I think it's just come recently after
Right.
retiring from the job.
You're right. Well, you were at the same job for a lot of time, right?
Yeah, 9 years.
Yeah, okay. I do see you getting a part-time job, however. Do you really need a
I'm
full-time?
thinking about it.
Yeah. Do you need a full-time job, or would you be better off with a part-time?
If I went, I would go part-time.
Okay. Because the reason why I ask you about that with a part-time is I think for your own mental stress, you've got to calm it down because you stress out too easily.
So,
You make you make a molehill into a mountain at times. And the thing is, you do care about other people. Now you've got to start taking care of Donna.
well, yeah, somebody on the relative side said it's time for you to just retire.
Yeah, take care of you. Do some part-time. Do something that you want to do. Okay? Do something. Now, who's the lady that passed away that would like to talk to you?
There's a lady that passed away.
Yeah, that wants to talk to you.
Geez.
Did your aunt
I don't know,
did you have an aunt that
My
passed away?
sister?
Oh, your sister? Okay. So were you were pretty close to your sister, were you?
Yes.
Because I want you to know that she's very happy. She's glad that you finally are going to start taking care of yourself.
Oh, okay, we'll tell her thank you.
There you go. All right, she remembered, okay? Who plays the piano?
I don't know.
Okay, 'cause I'm
That
hearing,
I don't know.
okay, 'cause I'm hearing a lot of piano music, okay? And that means you've got a lot of good changes coming. Don't be afraid to open up to travel,
Okay.
okay? Financially, you're going to do okay. Hang on a minute. I'm going to give you to a newbie here.
Okay.
Newbie. I believe the one he was talking to in spirit had heart issues. Also, I'm getting a lot of you're restraining yourself. The empathy of being held back as far as what you're doing and the choices that you're making. You're holding yourself back. Does that resonate with you?
He
Yeah.
used a big word.
Yeah, I used a big word. It makes sense. Also, I was getting a lot of trust and judgment on you as well. Also, there was some hip stuff immediately when you called. Did you have a hip problem?
No.
No. Who's the one with the hip?
No.
Who's the one with the hip problem? Left hip. Did somebody hear even?
No.
Okay.
Now that you mention, I probably will after I get off the TV.
No, you'll
Well,
be fine.
don't put the TV on top of yourself. That's okay. No, just take it easy with that. I don't. It feels more like a calcium kind of thing. It doesn't really feel like a broken hip or a
She's
displacement.
lacking oh,
Yeah,
good. She needs to take a calcium.
Eat calcium into because there's some of that.
Okay.
The trust as far as what you truly believe you should be doing, it seems to be a bit of an issue as well. Like you don't need a big job. I mean, you can go. I saw some brown paper bags and stuff. So I don't know if you were working.
She's going to be a bag lady.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
There we go.
I'm not saying that. No, I would have saw something different. That goes to what we were talking about earlier. Any day we're not eating out of a dumpster is a good day.
No.
Not at all.
All my worries are taken care of. I'm the brown bag lady now.
There
No.
you go.
Not at all. Well, it could also mean a lot of different things. I feel like in this case, it's more of a simplicity. You know, don't look to complicate your life with a job or an occupation or something. At this point in your life, really find some enjoyment. You know, find some enrichment in things that you want to do. Take it easy. I'm getting some throat stuff
Okay.
to speak your
I've been
mind.
tossing it up and down. Do I want to go back to work?
That's
Do
right.
I
just
would, you
wanna
know what?
chill
I would,
for a while?
I would encourage you to take a year off.
That's what my son said.
I think that you need to take a year off, travel, or do solitary, commitment. Just take care of Donna. Of course, if you want to help me, that's fine too, But I mean, the brown bag we kidded about, what the brown bag actually represents, she has to open that bag up and let her emotional feelings come out and start taking care of it. That's what
I'm getting a lot of stuff in the head now too. So the logical.
Are you in a relationship right now?
Okay.
No.
Are you ready for one?
Well, yeah.
Because I do see a man, you're going to be a cougar.
Oh boy.
Oh, baby. But
That goes well with the brown lady.
there you go,
Brown
the
lady.
brown bag lady. But I do see you meeting someone about 3 years to 5 years younger than you, and it's going to be one of a very friendly, very best friend type commitment. Whatever happens goes from there. But I also would encourage you to do some traveling around the house. Don't hibernate in your house.
Okay.
And the one thing I gotta say, I will agree with you on. I don't usually agree with a lot of readers, to be honest with you, because I am. And with the hip problem, it is lacking some calcium in it. That I will say, and there's a touch of arthritis in there.
Okay.
So that's what you're seeing. Okay. But I also will tell you, do you walk a lot?
Sort of, yes.
Okay. Do you have a dog?
No.
Okay. Get a dog and take your dog for a walk.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a part-time job. Dog
Alrighty.
walking.
Your neighbors.
One of the
will
things I
love
want to
it.
tell you, daughter, you're going to be around until you're 97 years old.
Awesome.
And your mom is right with you.
I kind of figured she always has been with
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I'm smelling roses, roses, roses. Did she like roses?
No, my sister did. My
Oh.
mother liked carnations.
Okay. Well, what I would encourage you to do is get like 6 carnations and 6 roses of different colors and put them on your night and put them on your table. What you're doing is you're showing them that you're very happy that they are where they are and that they're with you always.
Okay.
Did your dad
Right.
smoke a cigarette?
What?
Did your father smoke a cigarette?
He used to smoke.
Okay, because I'm smelling cigarette smoke there too. And he told me to tell you to have a glass of whatever you choose to drink, in his memory as well.
Okay.
Okay? And by the way, in October, we're having a big event at the Unitarian Universal Church to help animals.
Where's that at?
At the Unitarian Church in Manchester on Union Street.
Union Street. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm so glad to hear you finally retired. Now I
Finally
want
reach what?
that you had retired. Now I want you
Yeah.
to live your life, whether it's painting, whether it's writing, or whether it's singing, or whether running around. But I want you to take care of you.
Enrichment.
Okay.
Enrichment.
Thank you for your call,
And-
now. Yep. Any other questions?
And you.
Yep.
Yeah, you take care of yourself too.
I will. We miss your calls. Call me more.
Okay. Bye bye, hon.
Bye bye, hon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye
Thank you.
now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye now.
Now, see, with the brown bags, I would have thought not to conserve, but be more aware of your money and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if you're going to go to the beach, bring your lunch.
Yeah.
Or if you're going
That's
to go
what
out
we
on
said
an
open
adventure.
that bag.
Yeah, out on an adventure.
Well, sometimes, a lot of times, I'll start with the evidential stuff, and if I say I see a brown bag, instead of trying to make sense of it myself,
Right.
they're like, "Oh, my grandfather had a store," and I'm like, "Oh,
Right.
okay." And then he starts coming in, So
Well, that was a good human. You didn't.
Oh,
You weren't offended by that, right?
Oh, absolutely
If you were,
not.
I'll offend
I
you
kept
more,
seeing
but-
it was interesting because I didn't want to jump in when you were going, and I got one
Never
or two
be
or three.
afraid. If you
Well-
got a message and I'm doing it, never be afraid to jump in as well.
I was getting similar, like you were getting the relative, and I'm getting the one with the heart
Right.
You know, and
I think she also had a heartbeat.
I kept seeing a bracelet as well that it has a band, and then it had this little thing come down, and you'd hold on to it. Yeah. And I don't know if it was.
You know, I want everybody out there to know one thing. Every one of you are beautiful. Every one of you have a beautiful heart. Every one of you, no matter how bad you may think you are or how tough you really are, when we look inside of you, we're going to try to. I have no idea where this is coming from, by the way. We will see
Channeling.
the inner side. Channeling. Every one of you have a great heart, and there's a lot. I have a very dear friend, Eric. I want you to offer and send a blessing to my friend Randy has a daughter, Jana, who they are going for tests to have cancer. So we're hoping that she don't have it. So we're gonna, whatever we have out there, we're gonna draw all that cancer out of her. And you have a friend that we're gonna have to work on their heart too. Okay, I don't know who it is. It could be your husband. It could be someone that you may know. We're going to draw all that energy out, too, okay? Boy, the spirit's channeling, so be prepared, okay? One of the things I am also looking... Oh, by the way, we have a new camera person. We want to welcome her aboard.
Yes.
Kirsten? Is your name Kirsten?
Close enough. It's Kirsten.
Kirsten.
Kirsten, I'm sorry. Well, anyway, welcome aboard. We're so glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Okay? Don't be
Welcome.
shy. Yeah. If you got anything you want to comment on, now, feel free to. Next week, we're going to be starting a new thing. I'm going to have my roommate bring it up from the old shows that I first started 18 years ago and all that, you know. Oh, my God, I looked at a couple of them, and I said, is that really me? You know, I had no hair down here, and I had the beads, and I had the mustache, and a ring on every finger. That's what I thought I would see. I was trying to imitate other readers that I had seen on TV, and that doesn't work.
Be your authentic self.
Yeah.
It's
I
really important.
I couldn't find my ring I always wear here, so I'll wear this and this, you know. And, and I can't wear a diamond earring. Every time I wear an earring, my ear itches. So I said, all right. You have to listen to what your spirit's doing. Of course, I couldn't find my makeup kit, so you know how that was, So I said, oh, well, here we go. But, see, this is what I love about my show. We can be who we are as long as we're not obscene about it. And the one thing about here is that we don't downgrade anybody. If somebody starts a downgrade, then we hang up. Do you agree? Okay. And Mary is a great person. She was going to fill in for you. In fact, I lost my date book. Good thing you let me know about coming on today.
Oh.
I think I'm getting, okay. There you go.
Norm's Community Corner.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Hi, Mary.
Hey, I was just talking about you. I have a great guest here you might want to get a hold of.
Okay.
Erin, what's your phone number so she can write it down on your face? Actually, you're on Facebook, right?
Yeah, heartfelt readings.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, you are.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Want to spell your last name for her?
Goldberg, Goldberg.
Okay.
And I have Heartfelt Readings is my group and page.
Okay. Because Mary has her own show tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Mary is a spin-off of one of my shows. I've had 17 spin-offs of my show.
Really?
Yeah. Mary's the only one that's been on the longest. So I think that's pretty cool, But, so how you feeling, Mary?
Not too bad. I was telling you, I saw the new doctor for the diabetes. And, so he upped up my insulin, and now I'm up to 6 shots a day instead of 5.
Wow, you feel okay with it?
They have no choice. Either I do that or I go to Boston.
Okay.
And he said if the doctor sees you, he will keep you in the hospital for a good week.
Ooh. Yeah,
Down to Boston.
your
So
kitties would
I'll
not.
have another shot.
Yeah, your kitties would not be happy with that.
No, they wouldn't. They would not be happy.
She actually has. She
Without
has a lot
me.
of lung problems. She actually has 6 cats. How many cats you had? 5?
I had 5. I
Five,
had
yeah.
6, then I went down to 5.
She got one that actually
And
talks.
now I got 4.
Yeah. Oh, you got. Oh, that's right. She got a one that actually says hello and all that stuff. I've actually heard it, so it's not one of those things.
Oh, yeah.
I
If
got-
anybody calls, she'll say hello on the phone. And someone knocks at the door, she will go over to the door and say hello.
I got one that says Eric.
Mary, he's gonna do a little read. Yeah, Mary, he's gonna do it. I put him on the spot, and he better be good because you're my best friend. There, see.
Yeah, that's right.
It's I'm getting so much stuff through the veins and so much stuff in the lungs with her right away. Immediately when you called, I thought there was so much
Can
stuff.
you come up to the mic a little bit more so I can hear you?
See what I was telling you?
I'm a rookie on the show.
Don't pull the mic away. Pull it
Pull it
up.
up, pull it up, pull it up.
There you
Okay,
go.
okay.
Pull it closer.
Okay. Is that better?
Yep.
That's good.
Okay, thank you. There's a lot of stuff in the veins going on. I'm just getting shooting right through the veins. And when you originally called, I had so much stuff in the heart. Well, not the heart, the chest. But it felt like somebody had passed from breast cancer on the left side.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay. She also had some the higher up in the back of the neck, the upper neck. I don't know if
That's
it
my
was
mother.
okay. She's always there. She's with you all the time. She says.
Yeah, that's my mom.
The cats are in the way. She kicks them out of the way.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. I think Georgie does. He hated my white cat. And every so often I see her running and she looks up. You know, I know there's nothing there, so I have to holler and say, Georgie, leave her alone.
Yeah, she's complaining about it. You know, she's a character with that. She's really there for you very strongly, though. She's also showing me some toast. Something about white making toast all the time. I don't know what she means by that.
Your mother make a lot of toast, Mary?
Yes, she did. Toast and tea.
Well, there you go. That makes sense. Yeah. Just wants you to know that she's there, and she has been, and she's looking out for you. She doesn't have any real strong message at the time other than the cats. She's complaining about the cats.
Do your mother have a problem with cats?
No, I don't.
Well, she's just kicking them out
No,
of the
unless
way.
it's Addie.
Just
Come here. Come here. Her friend Addie.
Always underfoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was Addie.
Yeah, that's
She said
Addie.
something.
Huh?
Kristen said something.
What, Christian?
I think you guys just turned
A big one?
the black switch in front of it.
Black switch in the front of it.
Right here.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Up or down? It's up.
Up.
It's all the way. It's all the way up.
No, try the other mic.
Can you hear me that good on this one?
And when he gets closer, I hear him. But when he pulls away, you can hardly don't hear him too good.
All right. How's this one? This one better?
Perfect.
All right. Thank you. Spirit turned the mic off on me. Didn't want me to keep telling you stuff.
You're telling the
about
secrets about the
cats. Well, it's just
She didn't want to hear anything more
no,
about
no.
the
She
cat.
didn't want to hear enough about my
No, that
cats.
was good.
Oh, good. She's showing me some.
Mary, are you outside or is that your TV?
No, that was somebody going by 3
Oh,
days
oh, wow.
with a motorcycle.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wow. Hurry up, speed fast, chop,
And get nowhere.
get nowhere. Yeah. Just showing me more on food, oatmeal and the toast and the tea and just the simple things. Really,
Yeah.
it's more about being content with what you have. And fleas.
That's the cats.
That's the cats. That's the cats. Do you have any questions for me? Is there anything you like me to look at specifically? When I
Yeah,
connect.
you really did. You really did a good job. You really did. And like I said, on the other part, you hit Addie
Yeah.
with the cat,
Yeah.
and the one with the toast, that was my mother.
Okay. Did she have problems with her blood as well? Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, she was a very bad diabetic, my mother.
That's unusual that a woman inherits from their mother. Usually the mothers and the daughters inherit it from their fathers, and the sons
Yeah,
inherit it from.
I'm my mother's daughter, as they say. I'm the apple that fell from the tree.
There you go. Mary used to be my bodyguard.
Whatever my mother had, her eyes, everything, whatever my mother had, I have everything almost the same age as her.
Yeah. Whenever Mary and I've known it go way, way back. I sat trouble with Mary. I sat trouble with Mary and finish it for me.
I know, he was a troublemaker.
She's a tough cookie.
And I ended up finishing.
Yeah, she had to take care of all that stuff for me, you know. Mary, don't forget Saturday we're going to be having a cookout.
All righty.
All right?
We'll catch you then.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, nice talking to you, Mary.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
One thing about Mary, she's in charge of all the food at the event. I would encourage you to bring she makes the best homemade. You like homemade baked beans?
Yeah.
Oh my God! You have to get them early. Lori was here. Lori got there first before anybody else did. Then Lori got a bigger ring than I did from Mary. That was pretty upsetting.
Oh, I didn't know Mary gave out rings.
No, she gave me a ring. I have to wear it on the show, and Lori got a bigger one than I did. Lori had to let me know too. You know.
Well, that's because Laura's hands are smaller, so it just looks bigger.
Oh no, I want bigger. We put them side by side. But actually, Mary has been a co-host of my show, and I probably, if you enjoyed, you're not uncomfortable being here, right? Yeah.
No, absolutely
no,
not. I was a little nervous at first, but I'm fine now.
Oh, I can make you that way, you know that, right?
I blush easy, so you'll know right away.
One of the things I will also tell you is there is someone around you that is very jealous. I'm not going to use the cards, but there's someone around you that's very relaxed, so I can do this, okay? Okay. There's someone around you that is very jealous of the spiritual anointing that you have. And there's also a couple of people who think that you're full of BBB, you know what I mean? And they don't, and it looks like it could be a relative. Relax, dude, relax. Okay? Because you're blocking me. If you don't want me to do it, then,
no, go ahead.
okay, because if you want to, okay, because if you don't want me to, just say so.
No, absolutely, go right ahead.
Okay, but you got to be aware of your surroundings. Okay, you put yourself in such a close area. You've got to open. You know how you told her about the bag. Actually, that bag is representing you as well. Okay, that brown bag is actually representing you as well. And I've had to go through it so I could. But you have a lot of tools. You've got to learn how to take one tool at a time and master that one, and then go to the next one, and then go. Because once you start, and she has got to do it too, because she has a lot of gift. And you agree with me, right? Because when you allow all this, and I'm speaking from my experience, okay, not just because like I said, I've been doing it for a long, long time. But once you start getting all that coming at you like this, then what happens is your whole, then you because all entwined into all these different messages. You'll say, okay, which one is the bad one? Which one is the good one? I don't know if you've gone through that yet or not.
Absolutely, I've been through that.
Okay.
I'm good now.
But it's still, you're not done with it. Trust me.
I know.
Okay.
I
And also, you need to write down a lot of your experiences that you've gone through. Okay, for you. And if you want to publish them, that's fine. If you don't, but I think you need to, like a lot of times if I go through a lot of difficult periods, I will, have to write it all down. Okay, and I think it's important that you sometimes, because even though you might be doing this for 10, 15 years or whatever, you're still a newbie. We're always newbie. I'm always learning, so I call myself a newbie. Okay, and you're always until you think, when people start thinking they know it all, they know nothing.
Absolutely do not think it.
I had a lady that come in, she had taken a course for...
No, because I can see you like a sponge.
I'll ask.
Yeah.
I'll ask. I don't... See, if I something comes in, it's out of experience, that message, okay, if I get off of being in the moment with you, we're into story time, we're not in the room anymore. Now we're in my story. Camera. So now we're in my story. Yeah. So when we're in my story, we're not in the room, and I'm not serving you properly. And in order, microphone, camera, rookie.
You need to have your little list.
Yeah, I need to have my little. Yeah, don't blush. So, I strive to get back. Yeah, get back into it. Get back there.
Okay, what's your
Get up
message for me?
What's my message for you?
Yeah. I see you.
See, I got to
like
check.
this.
Well, I got to check.
Okay.
My message or their message? Because
Well,
I don't want.
You remember, you're the messenger.
Yeah. Yeah. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
That's
And that happened. I love my show.
That's the absolute.
Yeah.
There's two things that I get. The majority of messages I get. One is enjoy yourself, and the other one's turn the radio down.
Yeah.
Because it clogs them. And
I actually had a policeman come and tell me to turn my radio down. I go, turn my radio down? He said, I said turn your radio down. I said, I don't own a radio. I've never, ever owned a radio.
Well, my guides tell me to turn it down. Not that I'm cranking it really loud.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, that one thing about you is you're trying too hard. This is why you're vulnerable. It's not me speaking, it's the spirit in your spirit, okay? You have a very powerful, strong woman spirit, okay? Her name is Anna, okay? And she said, how do you do, okay? And she speaks several different languages, so be prepared. If you don't understand whatever she's speaking, don't be afraid to question it. Most people will. Do you question it? If you get a message?
I question myself.
Okay, no, it's okay, but question if it's a real spirit. Because the one thing I've learned, if it's not really real, send it back. If it comes back, and then you send it back again. If it comes, then the next time it comes in and it stays, because the one thing about it, you can't. Well, I'm gay, so I talk with my hands, But the one thing that if it comes in and then you're not comfortable with the message, never be afraid to question it. I feel like a teacher right now, But don't ever be afraid to question what you're seeing. The ace, I'm looking at actually the Ace of Diamonds. Ace of Diamonds represents very good news for you. I'm also seeing the Seven of Diamonds, which is also, it means financial reward coming to you, okay?
Chapter 7.
Huh?
Chapter 7?
Bankruptcy.
Yeah, no. I'm seeing several. I don't see you going chapter 7. I really don't, because you're always going to find a way. The Spirit says, if you go through there, you're not dishonoring me, but you're dishonoring yourself. That's your choice. Learn how to. You created a problem. Now it's up to you to fix it.
I'm in whip.
Okay.
It's the work in progress.
Right. You can fix any problem you want. And whatever problem you created, you have to find the ending for it. Okay? And also, you got to keep your temper intact. Whatever that means, I don't know. That you know.
Yeah. Triggers.
Yeah.
I'm not an angry person anymore.
But once it happens, you regret, because a lot of times we'll say things that we don't mean. Well, we thought about, because you are right here. You have a lot of stomach problems. I'm looking right into here,
absolutely.
okay?
Absolutely.
And one of the things is you're hiding all your true feelings in here. You're like a volcano ready to explode all over the place. And you don't really want to do that. Sometimes you need to do it. Stop hiding your inner feelings. You can't truly be a spiritual healer until you get rid of and start identifying your true feelings. And believe me, I'm learning every day. And Lori was one of my best teachers. Believe it or not, she helped me to learn to accept that I'm okay, I'm gay, and that I'm okay. And she learned and I mean, I just miss her a lot because I don't want to tell her that, no. But then I also had, for years, I held a lot of anger issues. And this, why am I telling you this story? Because I want you to, it's important that you hear what I'm going to say. It's a message that you need to hear to let go of, okay? I blame the town for all my anger issues. I went into New London, New Hampshire. Do you know where that is? All right, you know where Claremont, Hanover,
yes.
okay, up and down that area. And I grew up in a very small town where I made, And for years, I blamed the town. I blamed my dad for being the alcoholic that I was, and will always be, for years. Finally, you know what? My very dear friend Bob Wattell he took me up to my hometown I grew up in, and I went to this pond, and I screamed, and I yelled, and I cried, and he just let me do it all he didn't comfort me, he didn't make any comments. And then when I learned to blame, you can't blame the town. And half the people that made fun of me or whatever, I am willing to bet they probably don't even remember me or know who I am. But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was allowing the negative energy to win. And then finally when I let go of that, my whole life changed. When I had my radio show, I mean, it was a really, there's someone even listened to it. It was at Howard Stern's. Okay, and that beautiful African American lady and they're together. We would really slam each other. One morning when we decided to close the show down, I woke up with the most beautiful awakening. This is what you have got to learn to do. Don't try so hard, because when you start trying, so that's when you're gonna start losing. Let Mother Spirit work with you. Okay, encourage your son. You have a 14-year-old, you said?
15 and 12.
He's really gifted. Is it a he?
Yeah.
He's really gifted.
Yeah.
There are people that are trying to hold him back. Okay? And just let him be himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I absolutely do let him.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
he's I'm not pushing
No.
because, they're still young, but at the same point, if they have any questions at all, I'm always available for them.
That's good.
And I said, anybody who claims to know all the answers, they're wrong. But
Stay away from them.
you can ask, just that's all ego, I mean, having experience and wisdom and sharing wisdom and, that's beautiful, and appreciate that. And to be able to take that, a lot of people can't, and it's an important part of your journey.
And that's true, because when you are trying to share wisdom with somebody, it's not that you're telling them that it's wrong. You're kind of like, well, why don't you look at it this way? And people say no.
Yeah.
And they might get upset.
If they're not open for it,
Right.
It's like to get them into reality, into your reality, into your time,
Right.
And in the room with you, and not wherever they may be, and to go from there. It depends on the prerequisites. What are they holding on to? What are they clinging on? And from there, being open and available. You got a lot of logical and rational stuff going on, and to get that out of the way will help more. I know you have some other things going on as
Right.
well, but some of that I could be seeing on you as well. But energy-wise, squaring up and pulling in more and being in the room with you and getting everything out of the way.
I need to square up and be in the room more?
Well, no, when I connect.
Oh, no. I was just wondering if you saw that's something that,
Well, the logical and rational stuff, that's, why is it a certain way?
Yeah.
That it doesn't have to make sense.
Well, see, that's one of my big problems is I have to understand why and how and where and, and it's like I can't get past.
It's a block.
Yeah, I
It's a
have
block.
to remove those blocks. Because, if you tell me that, this is the way we need to put a bicycle together. And it's like, why? Why does it have to, why do you have to do it this way? Why can't you, it's, once I understand logically why it's like that, then everything falls into place.
It just is.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to fall into anything other than it just is. Acceptance. As you know, spiritually, acceptance and trust are some of the early steps in this, in growing and developing. And then from there, it doesn't really matter. It's just where I have trouble with stuff like that, bicycle, is if I take the time to put the quality and the craftsmanship and put myself into it, that takes a lot out of me. And to hack and slap and put it together any old way, that is how I'd rather do it.
Yeah.
You know, I built a whole shed, and I didn't measure once. No tape measure once.
Do you know what mine would look like? Something from
That's how
Dr. Seuss's.
No, that's how it looks. Believe me, that's how it looks. You know, but that's okay because it was just hack and slap, and it was pure pouring myself into it. Now, if I had to sit there and think, that wouldn't have been like circuit overload for me. That would have been way too much for me.
Right.
That would have been, it would have been not me. You know, it would have came out a lot better. But then it's not. I'm not in there with it. You know, I get to feel it, and that's.
Yeah, I know that I've got to figure out how to let go a lot more.
Well, that's a big blanket.
Yeah.
As well, but letting go of the logical and the rational with the things, you know, would help with the focus on it, and then you can go from there. You know, something presents itself.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to go through that filter. You know, just put it aside for a second and go, you know, how do I feel about this? What does this stir inside of me? You know, is it stir something emotionally that I can reflect upon and release and then let go?
Right.
Great. Is it a trauma? Is it some karmic? Great.
Because I know,
You
like,
know-
for me, a lot of times, like, if you and I are sitting in the room, I will get things that I know. I just know.
Yeah.
You know.
Time for a trivia question.
We have a trivia question?
Yes.
Okay.
Who was the singer of You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog and what year? First caller to get that, you can't answer that.
I'll ask.
First caller that comes in will get a free 10-minute reading from Eric and I.
Okay, and that number is 603-640-3091. Again, the number is 603-640-3091. Who was the singer of You're Nothing But a Hound Dog and what year?
No.
That's a trick question.
I can usually get the musician, but it's the year.
who made it popular, or who was the original?
The original singer is actually the one that made it popular. You know.
Well, no. Possibly not.
No, because they did a lot of remakes.
Remakes of it. Yeah, well, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the original singer.
Okay.
Or I could put on what show did he make it popular?
Well, I'll give you. Can I give a hint?
Oh,
Can I give a hint? No. Okay. Excellent though. Excellent question.
Come on, I know you people know this. There are a lot of people that are fans, right? You know. Also, did you know that you were a singer in your past life? You sang opera.
That doesn't surprise me because I definitely can project.
But you were a female opera singer.
That doesn't surprise me.
And you were quite...
Voluptuous. That doesn't surprise me.
Okay, that's a new word, but that's all right.
It's a big one.
Yeah,
I can hang with that.
yes, you
I
sang in a lot of
definitely,
different operas. And there was a person... May I go into your past life with you?
Sure, go ahead. I may go. May I go with you? Because I'll
Yeah.
see it too if you go there.
He's
Most
got
likely.
one.
right.
I don't think I know this.
I know. That's what Eric said. Who was the person who made it popular, or who was the original?
Oh, okay. We'll go with the original. I'm glad you... Yeah, it was on there. Thank you.
It's on
Okay,
there.
so that beat me too.
Oh, somebody she put it up?
Yep.
Yeah,
And she will. She'll show the
I
answer.
think I know who it was. So
But you're also, when you were in the opera, there was another female that was very jealous of you, and so she poisoned your drinks. You're an old soul. You've been here very, very, very many times.
yeah, I thought it was around 5,700, but I've been going with 80,000 lately.
I'm not getting more 57.
Okay, that's where I thought I was.
She actually walked with Jesus Christ. You were the one that carried the bread. You were the low life that carried the bread. I shouldn't say that, but
Hey, you know, the one who has the food is the most important.
That's right. You know.
Yeah, with the robes though. You were wearing robes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I like dresses.
Yeah.
Me too. Not
I
anymore,
heard
though.
that.
I don't do that anymore. The last time I dressed in drag, my wing fell off, my boot fell out, and I broke my heel.
Is that before or after you left the house?
I was doing a shade show. I was walking down the stairs. Oh my God.
Wouldn't be so bad if it was before you left the house.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
once you get
yeah,
out on the
yeah.
street, you know, you're a hot mess.
I'm walking down the street, you know, and I go, okay. I said, Spirit, I got the message that I haven't done. It says, apparently the Spirit said, no more. You know, and that is who I am. And there again, I was trying to be something that I wasn't. Like, I used to dye my hair all the time. You know, I got to the point where I never knew what natural color was anymore, you know. And I found that, and I think you'll probably agree, when you try to be something that you're not, that's when your whole world can collapse. I love who I am today. Do you love who you are?
Yeah.
Are you a winner every day?
At some things.
No, that's what I asked.
No, I'm not.
But you are.
Well, that goes back to, you know, I'm not eating out of a dumpster. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's still.
For a long time, what I did is I just went back to peaceful. You know, anything that knocked me off of peaceful, in order to work with my clear mind, I had to go right back to peaceful. And then I started going right back to center. And just repeatedly going back to centering. And it kind of became semi-meditative. You know, and I walk around and I shift so frequently. And I can with breath work and stuff. Or even, you know, if you bring up something, a past life, I start to see it. Doesn't matter whose it is. It could be her summer house. I'll see it. You know, it doesn't matter. Once I start going towards it, it's a thread. Anything that you bring up, it shows a thread. And a lot of times, I don't have to pull. It's kind of falls in. You know, whether it's somebody that's passed on or, you know, anything, any experience, trauma, you know, past life. So it's kind of neat to walk around like that. But that's why I kept going back to center and back to peaceful, to keep me out of that. And to keep me out of my head, which I'm going into now a little bit because I'm talking faster.
One of the actual things are that you are a winner. And I'll argue with you on that because I love doing that. Okay? There's no such thing as failure. Okay? Everything in life is a learning. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I got to brag about something. I rode in a nice car today. What kind is it?
It's a Buick LaCrosse.
And let me tell you, it's not brand new, right?
Nope.
And let me tell you, it's felt and drove.
It is previously loved.
And now it's even loved even more. Okay, you can smell the new leather on the car. Just long we don't go through any more red lights, we'll be okay.
Not with this one.
Oh, that's a story that I'm really serious.
It's shocks or springs or something, the left rear on that thing.
On the new one or the old one?
I don't know. Whatever, you tell me.
The old one, definitely.
Okay.
But we were going through, coming to the show, okay, and she got, you know, whatever, and she went through the red light. Thank God her reaction was quick, because the people were coming off at 93.
Thank God Scott's reaction was quick.
Yeah, that was quick, yeah, and the spirit.
Yeah, Scott pulled me. I don't know where I was, and Scott just said something, and it was like, okay.
We wouldn't have survived.
Yeah.
You know. So
I didn't even see the light.
Spirit, yeah. Wow. See, that's when the spirit does a wake-up call. You know, when I was almost blind, I don't know how I ever drove my son to work, and I could hardly see. And you knew the spirit was there guiding us. So then one day I said, you know what, this isn't fair to anybody I might drive on the highway. I went and I turned my driver's license in, and I went totally blind. Then I had surgery done.
How's your heart?
Good.
Doctors
say it's not. I'll be honest with you. No,
Well, that's Scott.
Doctors say that they keep having me go for heart checkups, and they all say you're great. Yeah.
The thyroid's okay too?
But, I'm healthy.
Okay.
If I wasn't, I would tell you anyways.
Okay. Well,
No,
I feel what I feel.
As far as I know, I mean, I'm losing weight. I don't know why, but I'm losing weight, and I'm happy with that. And, but I eat garbage, But no, I'm pretty happy. I can remember the last time I went to the doctor. And I will not go again. She put that, that little closepin they put on your finger. She didn't even put it on right, dude. And according to her, my heartbeat was between 31 and 30.
30 dead.
Yeah. And
I thought that was for your oxygen level. It does both?
Yeah.
And I go, oh, should I be in the hospital? Oh, there's no worry. So they made me an appointment for 2 weeks away. I said, well, I guess my heart can't be too bad, And I won't, unless my blood pressure really comes up. And oh my God, last week, I don't know how Scott put up with me. I really don't. I was hell on wheels.
Yeah.
I'd had this happen. Well, one of my board members quit, then the next one quit. Then then I don't know how he put up with me. I really don't. That's true. We really are connected together. There's just sometimes when you just say, well, then, and I know. And then I went and I took my heart pill, my blood pressure pill. It was okay. Then I smoked a joint, so it was better. I'm a firm believer in legalizing it. I really am. I see what it does to people.
I am as well. I definitely I can't partake because of my day job, but I definitely see the benefits in it and helping people.
Well, we had a roommate, and when he smoked, he had cancer. But he found out in May, and then he crossed over in August. When we took him previous to that, we knew there was something wrong with him, but because he didn't have insurance, so they were going to, in and out, and they kept giving him Tylenol. Finally, you should see me. Talking about me, the queen, trying to act straight with me, tell you. I had the shirt on, the tie on. I said, how does a straight man walk, So I go trucking him with a briefcase, and I said, this gentleman gets the care that he rightly deserves, or I am calling everybody I know, and I'm going to call all kinds of legal people, and I will find out, and I will sue you. And they took 3 hours to come back and told he had cancer. I said, why didn't you guys take the time to do that? But if you don't have insurance, they're not going, and that's sad, they're not going to take the time to take care of them. And then when I'm like you are in many ways, and like you, when you tell you you can't do something, we do it, right? And you're the same way, right? And they told me
challenge accepted.
Right, and I enjoy it.
Good answer.
And when they told me that I could not have a military service for this young man, he's supposed to go to dishonorable discharge, and this happened. I said, until after I got the service done, I called the sister and said, guess what? You bag of bones that don't know how to tell the truth. And I shouldn't have said it, but I did it. I said he got a full military service.
Excellent.
And I can always remember now that his whole spirit came in body for him. He had this hat on that he always had, that little mustache, and he had that cigarette that he
had the briefcase too?
Huh?
He had a briefcase, a little leather bag or something?
Yeah, he always carried a bag.
Yeah.
And he thanked me for putting it in. He wore one of the plaid shirt jackets and the jeans. Hated showers.
Shiny shoes. Shiny shoes. Real shiny. No shiny shoes.
No. Sneakers.
Why am I seeing shiny shoes?
Because he had a pair of loafers.
Okay.
But I used to have to bribe him to take a shower.
Oh, boy.
Like that. But he had a bad experience. But he was a nice guy, and Scott and he and I were roommates. But if you let someone else move into that house, then it was wrong. But the three of us, we got along really well. It was like, what do you want to call it? The three is company. I was the gay one and the straight one type thing. And I had to behave myself, and oh my God, that was awful. But that's okay. I also will tell you that you're going to a funeral very shortly. There's someone that's a young person, and there's someone that you had tried to reach out to help, and they refuse to allow you to help because the drug that they are on has overtaken their body, and the drug is prescribed by a doctor.
Okay.
He's about 22 or 23 years old. I hope I'm wrong.
I am feeling like some stuff.
I hope I'm wrong. I don't like being right on stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna. I gotta applaud you. You're gonna talk a young lady out of having an abortion.
I am?
Yes, you are. You're going to let her know that there's love, that people will take care. If she doesn't want it or can't, there's people out there that will help adopt a child. Do you encourage adoptions if they don't, instead of abortion? Yeah. So you're going to say that, girls, like that if she doesn't, if you go through with it, she would commit suicide. So that'll be a good feeling. She's from another country. And it's by her family member. You listen, you got a good soul, you listen, so it's important that you follow through with it. And the one thing about you do follow through with whatever you say you're going to do.
Yep.
Okay? Your mother just shakes her head. Are you like your dad? Because she's telling me
According
that
to
you
my mother, no.
are. Well, I wouldn't tell her. He said you are.
She says I am.
You're stubborn like she is.
Oh, I'm definitely stubborn like my mother.
But you also have your dad's intellect.
I'm a better cook, though, than my mother.
She said that. Oh, no. She said, no. You know, that's like my daughter-in-law and I. You know, if daughters are like my daughter-in-law, I have the most beautiful daughter, as far as I could do. 'Cause my old daughter died, and this is why I don't like Christianity. Because when my daughter, she was 36 hours old, and she died, and the church said I lived such a hateful, sinful life that God decided to take the baby back home.
Oh, no.
And I could, and of course, then you go through the blame, and I tried to commit my suicide and all that. To this day, I will never have. I respect people, but if you're going to condemn other people, that's why I use the word spirit. I don't use the word God because I think the way people profess the word God is too condemning. So I prefer to call it the universal spirit. You need to read the last part of the Revelations.
Probably won't happen.
I'm just telling you, if you compare that with Nostradamus,
Yeah.
I'm a messenger from Nostradamus, by the way. You will see how parallel they are together.
I go more cosmic.
Yeah.
I go more galactic,
Yeah.
just
Well, read
planetary
Nostradamus.
stuff. Yeah.
I'm getting a strong read Nostradamus.
It's probably to do more predicting. What if I
If you read, or I'm not saying too much, but if you compare Nostradamus' saying and the last book of Revelations, if you compare them together, Peril, it is really saying that man is destroying himself. Both Nostradamus and I'm trying to think of the other one too that lived in the woods. What's his name?
The rope
Huh? No, he's a little short guy.
in Walden's Pond.
Can't think of the name. You know what? I'll think of it when I get home. That's it, and you're like that too. But I'm very much, I've been told many, many times by Nostradamus that I'm one of his messengers. If you would allow yourself, you also could be. He's very selective of who he wants.
I can see the future in a couple different ways. One way I do it is I go inside and then I go out through a different color.
Okay.
And
Your
there's
website
another-
again?
What's
Your
that?
website?
I don't at the moment. I just have a Facebook page,
Okay.
a group. It's Heartfelt Readings.
Okay.
On
And
Facebook.
you have a phone number that they can contact you?
Yes, 603-860-1362 is my phone number.
Very good. Don't be
Eric.
okay. Well, let's get that going there. Okay. He'll be at our event on October 20th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And he'll be doing readings there. He only charges $1,000 for a reading.
Not supposed to talk about price.
I know, well, $1,000. No, folks, we're only kidding. I wouldn't get anybody that way. And the one thing I don't believe in, I don't believe in charging, a lot of events do, I don't believe in charging an entrance fee. Because people are coming here, they only have a certain amount of money. And, of course, when you charge an entrance fee, that kind of discourages them. Is that green?
Yeah.
That is very green.
I think it's your shirt.
Yeah.
Let's change that.
There you
It's
go.
getting lighter.
There you go. There you did it.
You got me,
See?
see? Shazam.
Do you have a brother?
I do not have a brother. I have a sister.
Do you have a brother that passed?
No.
That was stillborn?
Well, there was a child, but it was
Because I have to tell you that
didn't make term, but other than that,
okay, I have to tell you that this brother is watching over you.
I have lots of brothers, friends I call brothers in
Yeah,
spirit.
but no, this is a true brother. Okay, you should have been a twin.
Okay.
Okay, but the twin decided one of you was a mess.
Well, yeah, okay.
Actually, had a person, the other spirit, been born and would have been emotionally handicapped, and I'm not sure if your mom could handle that.
No,
Your mom's very emotional.
she couldn't handle that
No.
back in the day.
Yeah.
No,
Is your mother still here?
she's still with us.
She doesn't understand what you're doing, though, does she?
She's
She's trying.
She's come along in the last couple of years. I mean, she doesn't. I will answer any questions that she has, and she has very little. I mean, she trusts and believes and loves me, but she's not going to do this
No.
herself. So she just, hopes I'm happy and, lets me do my thing. But at the same point, she has a touch of it too. She knows when there's stuff around. She
She's very
feels
gifted,
it.
but she's afraid of it.
It's not her dharma this time around. It's not her path right now. And she came to me the other day and just told me that her father was around, and it was an anniversary of his, and we talked just the other night about it, and she knew, and he came right through, so we had a little conversation, but she doesn't do it on the regular, She
Did
doesn't-
you know your grandmother on her side?
Yes.
And she's passed,
Yeah, she's
right?
with us, right? She's with
You
me
know,
all the
you know what
time.
she told me right now?
She's
She
all
said,
over me.
the sun is shining, the light is shining brightly on your baldness, which makes
Yes.
it look good. She enjoyed picking on you.
She has people kiss me on the forehead all the time.
One of the things that you have to understand as well.
That's for luck.
Yeah. Your youngest one, is that a boy also? Or is
Yes.
that you have all three boys?
I have 2 boys and a girl. My oldest is a girl.
Boy, she's got a mind of her own, huh?
Oh yeah.
She will make a great lawyer. You don't try to debate with her because you're not going to win.
No. She's got horns occasionally, but in a good way. She stands up for herself.
And she wants you to show?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
And they went on the internet and they could.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she is. She knows what I'm doing.
Yeah, but she doesn't understand it yet. She's not ready to.
She has helped. She's been a timekeeper for me before. I did a mini thing years ago when she was younger, and she has it as well.
Well, until she's ready, don't try to.
I'm not
let
pushing any, But again, when they were young, I would play games with them, like concentration and stuff. Flip over the card and look for the other card, and then just feel. Okay, where's the other 10?
Did you hang your kids upside down and beat on them like a pinata?
Only when they were little.
Only when he needed money.
It was more of a.
Folks, I'm only kidding. And Lori is saying my website is there. Folks, I'm only kidding.
My son used to do that with a friend of mine. He would grab his ankles and flip him upside down and shake him and say, "I'm waiting for the change to come out."
I would blow on their belly and make fart sounds. Rub my beard up against them, tickle them, and stuff.
One thing that your children are, they also have a lot of respect for you. Okay, because you show them the energy, you show them how much you love them, and you do. But you're also firm. When you tell them that you mean they cannot do that, you really stand by it. Is your wife the very same way?
Yes and no. I mean, she's more like a friend to him. But I mean, when she gets firm, she gets firm. She's like,
You're still married, right?
Yeah, I'm still married.
How long?
I don't know, like 21 years.
Oh my God, that's a long time.
Something like that.
My son and daughter-in-law, they've been married 21 years too.
Yeah.
And it's funny. On my side, my son's side, I've been married 4 times, and my daughter-in-law, her family members have all been married. And everybody in the family has been married one time. And my son and daughter-in-law have been married and been together for 24 years, so it can work,
Well, it's not great all the time. I mean, it is work. You have to put in the work.
Would you want it perfect?
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely. Not gain a couple pounds, not have my hair fall out, and I'm, youngster. stay in shape.
Wouldn't it be boring?
Love,
Well, okay. Well,
true love.
Yeah.
You know,
What would you change in your life?
Well, I'd have to go financial, really, because it's not the struggles, because there's lessons in those. It's not that. It's the hand to mouth stuff. To have like money for home repairs and have money for kids' college and have like a, better stuff. I know it's all stuff.
A little more comfortable.
Well, I'm not that comfortable. I'm okay. I'm not eating out of a dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have to be,
A brown bag.
I have lunch money in my pocket. And I always have. I'm blessed in that realm. But if I was to change that, and I would like to do this full time at some point.
You will.
And not have to do what I have to do in order to eat.
Norm's Community Corner.
Hi there.
Hey,
Hi
Mary.
there.
Elvis. Elvis was on Milton Berle's show when he sang it in 56. And 57, he was on with Ed Sullivan.
Okay, but he's not the original Mary.
That was the original was Chuck Berry,
No.
wasn't it?
No. At the end of the show, we'll show you who it is. Okay?
Oh, I thought it was Chuck Berry that came out with
No,
it.
he was with Elvis. Was on the 1957. Yeah, but we'll show you who the original was at the end of the
That sounds
show.
good.
All righty.
All right, thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye-bye.
Yeah. But unless someone else calls.
I'm pretty sure I know who that was.
I thought it was Elvis too, but it wasn't.
No, I know it's not Elvis. I know it's
And it wasn't Chuck Berry.
yeah.
No, say.
I'm not going to.
Or you're gonna have to get up there and do a dirty dance. But okay, what would you do to change? What would you change?
Less stuff. And when I say less stuff, I mean like less trauma, less, it seemed like every 3 months there was like something else that happened to us. My house caught on fire. My son drove my minivan through the side of my house. My daughter was mauled by a dog. My husband was in an accident and, my house was hit by a tree. The vinyl siding blew off my house one storm. It was like less of that.
But okay, and I thought about
but
what
that made me more determined.
Right. That made you who you are
Every
today.
time something happened, it was like, this isn't going to get the best of us. We're going to.
I saw a picture of myself if my life went differently, and I didn't like it at all. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the idea of me going working. My dad was a one no worker, okay, and I tried it out. That's not for me. But if we think about it, and you say, what would I change? I would absolutely tell you absolutely nothing, because it makes us who we are today. You realize that you may have some financial difficulties. We all do that, but you also know there are different things that you can change, right? Same with you. But it made you a stronger, bitchy a stronger person.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want my husband to be hurt. I wouldn't want my daughter to be hurt. When my son drove the minivan through the. That was just stuff. That wasn't as bad as it sounds. I'm telling you though, he was like driver's side in the kitchen.
when all this stuff was happening to you, you got to a point where you were waiting for the next thing to happen to you, and then that went away.
Well,
once that went away, it shifted you.
Yeah.
You went straight. You got driven straight into the point where you were just waiting for the next horrible.
Yeah.
And once you healed that,
I
it
sat at the
stopped
kitchen
happening.
table one
It stopped
time, one
happening.
day, and I
That was
said,
a
enough
big-
is
that
enough.
was
I'm done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you became a different. You shifted. You shifted. You got rid of that.
Yeah.
I went up
There was
there
a lot of stress.
Yeah, I went out in front of
Which
my porch, on my
put in its
steps where I
place.
live,
Yeah.
and I said,
But that's how I know that once you throw it out into the universe, once I throw it out into the universe that said, I'm done, it listened.
And that's what happened with me when I said, you know what? I went out on this. I said, why me? Why me? Why is this happening to me? And all of a sudden, Spirit says, because you're allowing it.
Yep.
Very simple. People don't realize that. Oh, poor me. This is happening to me. Poor me. But you know what, folks? We all allow it. Whether, even as a child, we may not be aware of that as a child, obviously. But then when I was being bullied all the time in school, then I became the bullier. You know what? It's still a no-win situation. You know, it really isn't. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people, and I have to overcome all that. And I, in my own heart, I have to believe that you know, everything is going on. But everything in life happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, and if we allow it to keep us down, that's why I ask you if you're a winner every day.
I have to say, I'm happy with being happy.
Yeah, you enjoy what you have today.
Yeah.
You know, and I do too. I may not have $1 million. I may not have all this and that. I have my beautiful little spoiled dog, and we have our big cat. I have to turn the air conditioner on in the office so he can be comfortable in the office.
That stuff doesn't define you, though. You know, it's just stuff still, and that those experiences, you know, they do help create who you are, and help your perspectives, and help make you strong. Absolutely.
Right.
But I mean, if you're doing a job, you it's a role, you know, and being spiritual helps us stay disconnected from that stuff. Like, oh, I got to clean up after the elephant, you know, or oh, here comes another wave. Learn to ride the waves, you know, and we have to do that in order to find happy, and you chose happy. That's awesome.
People get you know, even then I know I get a lot of people that live in the homeless shelter or the camp out or whatever. You know what? If they truly want, there's a lot of help out there. That people, if they really want to go and get the help that they need, even that, you know, if people that are teenagers, it breaks my heart to see a young teenager. But if they want to get the help, it's there.
You speak of difficult paths. You know, that's stuff that, you know, they really have a paper bag in front of them. You know, they have several in some cases, or you know, they were handed a stuff was in the bag. Stuff was in the bag when it got handed to them. Here, wear this. You know, but you know, again, if you live in that, you're gonna stay in that. You know, and there's no heart in that, and there's no finding yourself in that until they gain some strength.
You know, I've met a lot of people that are homeless. Obviously, you don't work today because I had many of the homeless people. My door is always open to everybody. And the one thing, a lot of them are quite happy living on the outside. I'm not saying all of them, don't misunderstand that, but I still, like, I've had a lot of people that I've run into, and they've said when they get that restless spirit, so they have to travel. Remember in the old days, they called them vagabonds. Wanderers, vagabonds, you know, whatever. But they're happy. Obviously, there's some that
Let me tell you, I could live in one of those travel trailers and, you know.
Yeah, but living in a trailer, now that's different. How about sleeping in a tent?
I know. Well, not in New England. You know? It's hard in the wintertime, you know.
I had this young man, he stayed with me for about a year, and around 6 months, he said, I can't do this anymore. He says he has to go down and lay by the railroad tracks. He likes to sit in the train, you know, the vibrations and stuff. I said, that's your choice. You know,
you needed to feel the energy around it.
And that's it. I'm like, a lot of the people, and don't get me false, don't think I am saying that it's right. No. It has to be comfortable for the person.
Yep.
There are a lot of alcoholics out there that will, and there's a lot of people that will not stay at the shelter.
Well, if there's any drugs or alcohol involved, the shelter won't let you in.
No.
So there's a lot of rules, you know, and the rules are there to keep everybody who's there safe, you know.
Well, I've seen a lot of them that have been intoxicated when I was eating at the shelter. Would come, and the last bad experience I had is when I watched a guy get sick and vomit in the trash bucket, and that's it. I don't want to be there anymore. But you know what? I have a pair of shoes, moccasins. I guess I could find them. This one lady, her name was Teresa, and she says, here, they're brand new. And you know that saying, you know, don't judge anybody until you walk a mile in my, and that's what I always remembered. And I started crying. She said, what are you crying for? You know, I said, you wouldn't understand. Because it was a whole new beginning of life for me. Even though to her it was just giving somebody, but she reached out that kindness, you know.
The shiny shoes come back again.
Yep.
From earlier.
Yeah, yeah. These were and I think I gotta have to see if I can find them, but another call.
Norm's Community Corner, how can we help you?
I have a question for Norm.
Okay. Who are we speaking with?
Tito
Hi,
Hey.
Tito.
from Manchester.
Hi, Tito.
Hi, Tito. What's up?
Will Kavanaugh be confirmed?
I would almost say 99% yes. I'm not going to go into political on the show.
Is that okay?
Push the button down.
I've been restrained. I can't answer that. I'm being held back on that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, they want him for the judge, but I'm being controversial, 99%.
Well,
I refuse to answer political questions.
it's
There you go.
it depends on where you're standing, and I don't want to get in that.
First of all, our show is not a political show.
Yeah, there's some things that would get off the rails too far out in the woods.
And the thing is, no matter who's elected, you know what? The Spirit already knows who's elected. The Spirit already knows what's going to be happening. The Spirit already knows. They already know who's going to be president 20 years from now. You know what I'm saying?
So I'll go back into the holistic aspect of that for a second and say, how does that make you feel? What the caller there, whether you feel great about it. Why do I feel great about it? What in my past led me to feel great about what put me in over here? And if it stirs something inside of me and it feels yucky for a reason, they stand on a particular issue that is really heavy with you.
Yeah.
In a holistic standpoint, that is a thread to where you can heal and release from. That is to a place inside yourself, to find, to work with, and it can be a catalyst. If you follow the way that it makes you feel through the emotions, whether it makes you angry, why does this truly make me angry? Well, gee, somewhere in my past, it happened. It was my father told me whatever.
Half the people don't even know why they're either favoring Trump or whether they're favoring Hillary Clinton or whomever they feel. Half of them will say, look, I'm going to join a bandwagon because somebody else is doing it. If the people really knew what was really going on from their heart, don't join something.
Well, that's why
Because they
you need
don't
to
know.
do your own research.
Right.
You need to do your own research
Right.
about a
This is
politician.
why that's why I'm
you
saying
know.
I don't have it on the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Do
saying.
I have it every once in a while? Yeah, I do.
That's why I'm saying explore yourself. And what the core values are they may not even be yours. There's something you read, there's something you learned, they're conditioning. It's a college or a book or somebody else through a conversation. I picked it up. All right, that resonates with me. I'm holding on to it for a while. So
I occasionally have politicians on. I really do, but it's not something that I want to have. I've had it before, and it's not one. I had 3 of them say, "Oh, you should run for state senate or for state or."
That's
You know
the
what?
show after this. What is that called? Rock, paper, scissors?
Right. Yeah. Oh no, this is the guy that was on
Love the
before
name.
me. Yeah, that was a couple of guys that was on. That never guest show. But I like being proactive. I like being the commentator. I like fighting with people on Facebook at times, but then after a while it gets boring, so I block them off. And I don't want to hear it anymore because both people, both parties, whatever. I really truly would like to see a no Democrat Party and no Republican Party. I would like to see people being run on their own merit, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen because there's too much hate.
So I'm gonna badly misquote Jesse Ventura, okay, who doesn't belong to any political
The mayor.
He was the governor.
mayor now?
He was the
I know
governor.
he was a governor
He was the
before.
governor.
Yeah.
Right now he's like living in Mexico in a trailer or something. No, he was the governor of Minnesota. He was he was a former wrestler,
Yeah,
a former
Well, that's
like
what I do. Not the
Na-
wrestlers when the government.
no, the Navy SEAL. Yeah, he was
I
a
didn't
lot
know
of
he was a Navy
he was a
SEAL.
lot
Yeah.
of things.
And he
He
had
was
a bounty
actually
on his
he,
head.
he was actually
Did
in
he? I didn't know
a,
that
yeah, he
either.
was in a biker gang and stuff. I
That I believe.
Yeah, as soon as he got out of the service, he's a character. But he calls them political gangs, whether Democrat or Republican. But he also the quote the part I wanted to get into is make them all independents. That way they have to answer to their own constituents in their own local districts, and not be joined together this side versus that side.
Well, that bothers me when you're in the House and the Senate and you have the Republicans, and because you have more Republicans than Democrats, the Republicans are going to get the vote because there's more of them. It's like, no, you
But
should
you-
be
if
voting
you-
your heart.
If you don't vote with them,
Yeah.
they won't support you, and
Just
you won't
slamming
get
the
reelected.
Republicans.
So
I'm not slamming anybody. I'm just,
The
you know.
Democrats are the same way.
Oh, I'm
I'm
not
an
saying
old
that,
diehard
but I mean,
Republican,
like,
just
look at the Republicans when Obama was in office. They wouldn't do anything the Democrats wanted. Now the Democrats are trying to block the Republicans because they did it to them. It's like, be for the best people,
We're going to get into the people. They complain. But yet they look at the guy that just retired after 26 years or 40 years in Congress. Okay, and yet people will complain about this one, they'll complain about that one, but yet they keep re-electing them. So, and plus our votes don't really count as electoral votes that elect the president.
that's just the president, though, not for
No.
the Senate or the state or
Right.
yeah.
And then the Senate, and then the Republican or the Democrat pick their own vice
I think-
president.
I'm gonna keep dragging you back into the holistic. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yes, please,
No, you're
please.
not.
Okay, the mighty tree is rotten on the inside. Okay. You cut it
Define
down.
the word holistic.
Holistic. I'm not gonna do that.
And then don't talk about holistic.
Okay,
You
wait a
can't
minute.
define
Okay,
it.
okay. So I'll find a better word. I'm gonna go spiritual. You like that one better?
Okay?
Okay.
Because if you use the
Because
word holistic,
Oh, you're right.
it means
You're right. I misquoted it. It doesn't fit. All right.
It's
You're right.
okay.
You're right. It didn't feel right. So, if it's rotten, they keep propping it up with stilts. Instead of taking its good parts and chopping it down and feeding the people with the firewood and making paperweight, whatever you got to do, and helping people and planting new trees and growing them and nurturing them to go the way that to help them benefit from what you've learned and not do the things that corrupted it in the 1st place. Sure. But instead of taking the whole of it and helping, helping people, that's really what it was about. It was
Right.
helping.
but the people want to have to want to help.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We can send out the arm, we can put out the hand, and I always say hi, how are you, and stuff like that every day. I think that's important. But we can offer to help. No matter whether it was Obama or if you want to, of course I'm not, well anyway, I don't want to get into that, but anyway.
No, that was just an example
Yeah,
about
yeah.
how the
Now,
parties,
political
how
parties,
they,
yeah. That's
you know.
why I don't believe in parties.
Yes.
Okay.
It should be for the people. It should be
And it
for the
never
good.
will
It
be.
should be.
Even in your
you know.
local, even though in your local government, even in your, and that's the sad part. You vote them in, and then people say, "Oh, but this one did this one, or this one did that one." What do? They re-elect them. They re-vote them in.
Well,
But like Eric said, it should be the tree. It should be the the tree grew.
Okay.
It gave fruit. It gave shade. It gave comfort. It gave warmth. It gave.
I wrote a story. It was called The Tree, and for some reason I cannot find it. I don't know whether the spirit hit it on me. What the tree was called, and here it was in the loneliness of the night. This big old tree with many branches thrown out. When the loneliness, overcoming the cold weather, overcoming the rain, and overcoming all these adversities, okay? And it went on and on. I'd love to be able to find it again to bring. I think you would enjoy it, like to find it. And it's all about how this tree was so lonely, and yet it made me think of that spirit of the Christ spirit, and how lonely we are, and how lonely our spirit is.
Yeah.
And we can grow from it.
Reminds me of a story that Jack Cornfield, I heard him say, and it was about these trees they grew in a greenhouse, and when they got a certain height, they shipped them off, and they fell over and died. You know, they wouldn't stay strong. But when they because they couldn't be growing in a greenhouse, when they were outside, they were in the elements, and wind and rain, and that made the roots strong. That made the tree stronger.
Well, isn't that like
So it depends on where the base was,
Right.
where they started out.
They couldn't grow in a greenhouse because they
Yeah.
were just they were weak because they were.
Their base was weak.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that like when the children, when they're born, is in the beginning, the parenting to make them strong or to make them weak, or to really. So when you look at any living thing, like a tree, like you just said with a tree and all that, and like we did a thing at this nursery where we had one side was a loud, rasping music. We had all these flowers. The other side was a real relaxing, comforting, and the ones that were relaxing and comforting were growing. Then when we swapped them over, the trees that were growing comfortably started, we changed it. So, it's like, oh, folks, we don't have to have all this anger. We really don't. And this is what it's all about. I believe that we could just say hi to each other, and how we, I love to say, hi, how are you doing? And some people said, and I'll say, people, I get my tone of voice, people say, that's not very nice. They'll say, oh, you're having a bad day. They'll say, oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be sarcastic, but I really am, because I care about people. Otherwise, we would not be in this field. The Spirit has already selected us to be in this field. But you're going to be growing and growing like you will be. You will be amazed at how you're going to grow. So when you start growing, it's going to be like an overnight instantaneously. You know what I mean? Right now, you're still on that. Like how a missile has that launching pad, and like you are too. You're both on that
Well, I'm
launching
hoping a
pad.
missile that goes and not falls.
You working with a shaman?
If
yet?
you hope, guess what? The angels will hope with you. If you say, I know I'm not going to be, then you're not going
All right,
to be.
I know I'm not going to be one of those
Thank
ones
you.
that are a dud.
Because the angels will hope all the time with you.
I'm not working with a shaman, but I'm
Yet.
surrounded by shamans.
Okay.
Shaman is just another word,
Yeah.
another label.
There's some.
Do you see a specific shaman?
No, I just saw you working with one and growing, a stage.
Well, Eric, we got to start closing. I want to thank you for coming on. I hope you'll come back on again.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You were
I had
really
fun.
good at it.
I had fun.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you were very educational. We may not always agree and always know that, Okay.
That's how you have a discussion.
Right. This is what it's good about you. And one of the things I want everybody to remember is we're all true to ourselves. And every day, remember the event we got coming up in Healing Ponds. And every day, everybody, please remember that you are the winner. Have a good night.